Hello noodles and noodlettes and welcome to Final Fantasy Fridays episode 13! Woo! We made it. 13 long and hard and painful weeks. I just spat all over the screen. Dear God, I must stop that. So yeah, welcome to episode 13 of Final Fantasy Fridays. Last week you got your triple whammy of Final Fantasy Fridays. So this week, we're going to have this episode and you're going to have an extra episode as well, as I don't know if I'm going to be able to fit all this in, and I've got a bigger rant to come at the end. As you know, we all love ranting. So yes, first of all, some more Final Fantasy XIV A Realm Reborn news has come through. Legacy campaign members are now getting a chance to get a place in the credits reel. Now, I got an email about this because Square Enix apparently keep begging me to come back to their game. They keep sending out all these emails to the past Final Fantasy XIV members. And basically, I think it's to do with the beta testing. If you participate in that, you will get your place in the credits. Pardon me. So yeah, the beta test phase 2 is just ending, but they're inviting more people into it. I think they're extending it. I don't know if they're doing that. I think they're doing like LBP. That's what they're kind of doing. So yeah, you should definitely go check that out. Just Google it, Final Fantasy XIV beta. You'll get everything for it. Even on YouTube, you're starting to get adverts for it. Especially on, you might even see it next to this video. I don't know why. Conveniently, Final Fantasy Fridays stuff, not Final Fantasy Fridays, just Final Fantasy stuff shows up. Must be the Google AdSense thing. So yeah, that was just a quick piece of news I wanted to, get in. So moving on to Final Fantasy X and X-2 HD. Sorry, got a bit of a sore throat. The texture comparisons were released. This was last week, but I didn't really have much time to get it in. I don't know. I think it was on a Kotaku article that I saw it. I don't know if I'll be able to find it again, but yeah, definitely go check that out. I personally didn't see that much difference in it, although you can see the polygons are more curved. But you can't really see the polygon edges, which is really good. It's an improvement, I must say. It's definitely an improvement, but it's still not to the standards of what I'd hope an HD pack to be. HD sets never actually, in my opinion, look that much different from them. The only one I've seen a dramatic difference in is probably the Ratchet and Clank ones. I don't know why, they just seem to look different. I don't know what it is. Maybe they redid them, I don't know. So more talking about the Final Fantasy HD, talking about Final Fantasy X-2 HD. More news has cropped up about this recently. There was a Famitsu, or however you pronounce it, article about the importance of HD remakes and everything, but they're also unsure what to do with the Final Fantasy X-2 Lost Mission cut content. Now, a lot of controversy is going to be about the Final Fantasy X HD and X-2 HD DLC. I did some stuff about it in the last one. Final Fantasy Fridays did some stuff about it, and I were thinking they would do some stuff for Blitzball, different skins and all that, maybe online, I don't know, that'll be completely pish. But people are starting to get angry as they believe Square Enix is going to physically cut content and use already cut content from the game and rebrand it as DLC. Now, I don't mind them selling Lost Mission as a different DLC pack, but these are just rumours by other people. They're rumoured to be physically cutting parts of the game and then putting them in as DLC. Now, I don't like Square Enix as a company, as a holder. I know it sounds a bit, biased because I buy Final Fantasy and Tomb Raider and all that, really great games. I really don't like the company. I think they're just out for your money, and essentially I think you could be doing a lot better investing in something else. You could really get a lot more out of your money than wasting it on all those Final Fantasy games. Like Final Fantasy XIII 2, that DLC for that was pointless. Except, I admit, Requiem of the Goddess actually did make some sense towards the story, which that was good. Heads or Tails and Perpetual Battlefield were just dreadful. I've spoken about them before, I won't go back to that. But if they do take content out of the game, a lot of people are going to be angry. I personally think they should include Lost Mission in there as well. Why not? Because it's their fans. Like, I think it's the international version that actually is getting put as the actual model for the HD remake. So I don't know what's going on, what's going to happen with it, but we'll just have to wait and see. So, tone of my voice changed quite dramatically there. Some Lightning Returns news. The Play Arts Kai figure pictures have finally been released, and I must say it's looking fucking fantastic. I don't have any Final Fantasy figures, sadly. I think the 13 ones look cartoonic, 13-2 ones there wasn't enough of, but this one does look like a proper. It looks like NECA. Like NECA do brilliant figures. I've got some Bioshock ones of them, and wow, they just look fantastic. The Lightning one. It's her in her default outfit. I don't know if there's going to be any more about it, like more outfits and more, maybe a customizable lightning pack like a Barbie, and it'll be £100 fucking pounds. But you know, still pretty cool. I don't know if I'll get it though, just to set it down. I think it's a bit of a waste just putting it on display, paying all that money for it, but you never know. So some Final Fantasy-ish related news. Bravely Default Flying Fairy, which is the spiritual successor to Final Fantasy The Four Heroes of Light, has been confirmed to get a Western localization in 2014. Now this localization will be for the 3DS, I believe. I don't know what quarter it was in. I'm pretty sure it was Q3 in 2014, so we can all look forward to that. People were rumors floating about a localization of it for a while. They've just recently started to show some light, and yeah, I'll definitely pick that up once I get a 3DS. I've never really fancied one, but Theatrhythm is sort of making me want one. I don't know, and the Pikachu DS, I want that so much. I envy everyone who has that, even though I only know one person that has it, and I don't actually know them. I know them through another person, so dear God. Okay, so I'm now moving on to quite possibly the biggest piece of news we have for this week. The date for the next Versus reveal has been set. Yes, we will be hearing, or as far as we are concerned, we will be hearing news about Final Fantasy Versus 13 at E3 2013. Well done, Square Enix. You finally listened to the fans. Finally listened. Yes, so coming this June we will be getting some more Final Fantasy Versus news, and not just Versus news, a Versus reveal. So this could either be a trailer, some more information about it, just fucking something. That's all we want. We want something Versus related. Lightning Returns looks cool, but come on, this is what the fans are wanting. This is what the fans are demanding. People would kill for Versus news. Maybe not kill, but okay, we just want the news, Square Enix. So yeah, news about this has been floating around for the past 7 years. Oh, E3, Square Enix. And as we know, Square Enix were at the PS4 conference, and they did show off, well, didn't even show off anything. They just analysed something they'd already shown fucking months ago, and then said, wait to E3, you bastards, we're gonna make you wait all this time. This was back in February, it was back in February. And then we're making us wait to June. I believe it's in June this year. It's always in June, isn't it? But yeah, I'm really looking forward to E3 this year. Maybe some Last of Us. I don't really know. I'm not really looking forward to Last of Us anymore. My friend's getting it, so I'll definitely try and get a borrow. So yeah, Versus news coming very soon. So yeah, this next piece of news is more of a rant thing. That's why I left it to last, because I do want to talk about it. Square Enix, as I noted in my last video, has been suffering from quite a lot of financial losses. Like, I mean, a lot of financial losses. But just recently, they have shared with us how bad this, these losses are. And Tomb Raider, Hitman and Sleeping Dogs completely missed the sales targets. They completely missed them. Tomb Raider sold 3 million units, which, if you're selling 3 million units and it's only meeting half of its marker, then there's something really wrong there. They got 300 million back from it. That's a shitload of money, okay? What I think they're doing is they're trying to plan these big AAA titles and trying to release them big profits, big everything and all that. But big doesn't always mean great, okay? More doesn't mean more, if you get what I mean. Sure, Square Enix have to set their targets higher than all these indie companies because, well, Square Enix are quite a renowned developer and publisher, but the thing is, I think they were thinking too big with all these games. They hyped them up way too much. And Tomb Raider did sell well. It sold 1 million units in one night. That's fantastic in video game standards. The only game I've seen that do recently is Black Ops 2, and that's because all the nerds were outside the GameStops for hours and hours and hours and then just wait to get it at 1 pence at midnight. But the same with Bioshock. Bioshock Infinite is the best game in the universe, don't care what anyone says, but Bioshock, the first Bioshock, was made on a low budget by an indie company that's previous game didn't even sell well. It sold 100,000 units, Bioshock's predecessor. Sold 100,000 units, and now Bioshock went on to sell 5 million units. Now, 5 million units for essentially what is an indie company is fantastic. So is 3 million units for any company. That is fantastic. 1 million units in a night, you'd be over the moon with that. Bioshock Infinite has sold, I think, 1 million units by now. It was 800,000 a couple of days ago, but I think it'll be 1 million by now. It's still topping the charts for nearly a month. Tomb Raider didn't stay up there for that long, admittedly. But Tomb Raider was sort of a late addition to the hype train, because we've been waiting for Bioshock Infinite for 3 years? 3 years? Yeah, I think they hinted about it at E3 2009, maybe 4 years? No, because they weren't there at that time. But yeah, you're certain their son's too big. Sleeping Dogs is another one. It's a good game. I enjoy it. I enjoy playing it. I don't really enjoy the story. It's not that great, but it didn't do well because, well, it scored well. It got 9 out of 10 on PSM, but I don't know what to do. What do you mean what to do? I don't know what to say really, because Square Enix has really been cramming games down our throat these past couple of months. We've had Tomb Raider and Hitman, Hitman Absolution and Hitman HD sort of around the same time period. And Sleeping Dogs, I believe, is out in September. Non-stop DLC I have seen for that so far, some of which is just costumes and all that. You get even a zombie story about it, which Sleeping Dogs is good, but I don't really know how to comment on it. But yeah, Square Enix need to rely on something big. So this has also led to the possibility of Final Fantasy VII getting completely redone in HD. Not just in HD, a whole new game. Because they said that they will only wait until Final Fantasy VII HD will save them. No matter what, see if that game is completely pish, everybody hated it, they will still make millions on that. People will go insane. Actually, I just check how many units original Final Fantasy VII did sell. Just a second. Google is my hero. I'm pretty sure it is Final Fantasy VII. Yeah, it sold 9.72 million units. 9.72 million units. That is insane in the industry. The lowest selling PS1 game is, what the hell, is Tekken the first Tekken, 1 million units. But that's still a bestseller. 1 million units still counts as a bestseller. Yeah, Final Fantasy VII, if that got 9 million, think about all the people that are going to buy this new HD one. Possibly even into the tens of millions of people. Could be the best selling game of all time, who knows. I mean, even people who don't like Final Fantasy have admitted that they like Final Fantasy VII. They don't like the series, don't like the premise of it, but they did like Final Fantasy VII. Because it was essentially a true story. It was about one of the producers' heart aches when his mum died, and it's heartfelt. You know, you could really relate to it, if you get what I mean. So, yes, that is the first little bit of our rant over Final Fantasy. Actually, that made no sense. That is our first bit of rant over involving Square Enix. Now we're going to move on to this rant that has been going on for the past few weeks. The big question, the burning question, the one and only question. Has Final Fantasy lost its audience? Now, this was recently shared on lots of Final Fantasy sites. I believe on Final Fantasy Union, that French site. I don't know, Final Fantasy World, I don't know what it's called. But I believe this was recently posted about, has Final Fantasy finally lost its golden touch? Well, I'm going to be honest with you here. I'd be lying if I said it hasn't, okay? Because I'm not saying it's lost its audience. I think Final Fantasy has attracted a new audience. Because Final Fantasy, the newer games were, I think Final Fantasy 13 only sold that well because people wanted it. People thought it was cool. People loved Final Fantasy at the time, so it's like, oh, let's give them another chance. I think Final Fantasy has attracted a whole new audience. I don't know why, like, not a younger or older generation. The people that play it now are just completely different. I mean, I haven't been alive for that long, and already I've fallen in love with this series. I wouldn't say fallen in love. I'm not gonna lie, it's not the best series in the world. Not the best series that I've ever played either. That I have to go to Bioshock. But it's this whole new audience. It hasn't lost an audience. It needs more people, I think. It needs the old people, the good old fans. Come on back. Don't stop at Final Fantasy XII. Just keep trying. Come on, it gets better. Once you get to 13.2, you'll not really want more, but still, you'll be glad, okay? 13 and 13.2, not the best games ever. They're fantastic games, but not the best games ever. But you won't regret playing them. Zero Punctuation, okay? It's a renowned reviewer. He did a review on Final Fantasy 13, and he's a cynical prick, okay? I love him a bit, but he's a cynical prick. And he said he played the first 5 hours of Final Fantasy 13. And he was just cynical about it. I don't think that's fair. I think you should complete a game before you do it. Granted, Zero Punctuation is meant to be a joke, but he's still a serious reviewer. And people are saying it gets good about 20 hours in. Granted, it does take time to get off. But I think it starts getting really good at that first anima battle you do, and that music. I'll stop. It was really good. I thoroughly enjoyed it. It was a good experience. Satisfying. You know, you were good. The ending, like, sort of gave you a bit of levitation. You know, sort of. You enjoyed the ending. Could relate to the ending. You know, and everyone got reunited as well, which was good. But what I want to ask you people is, what do you think? Do you think Final Fantasy has lost its audience? Do you think it hasn't? Or are you like me? Do you think it's attracting a whole new audience? Well, ladies and gents, I will leave that up to you. Put that in the comment section, message me, whatever. I will give you a shout out in the next Final Fantasy Fridays. Not the extra one, because I'm probably going to go film that just now. So, before we go, I have a shout out for Ragnaki Meza Mage XX, who was kind enough to tell me that Versus News was coming. So he/she, I don't know what you are, sorry about that, sent me the link to the news about Versus getting shown at E3. So thank you very much for that. So from myself, ladies and gents, I will see you all in the next episode. Thanks for sticking around, and ciao!